Hello and welcome in this new video. Hello. Today we are going to talk about TLDR. And TLDR is a very cool tool which stands for Too Long Didn't Read. And it replaces the old manpages. Manpage, of course, is always a must. Like you need to know how to use manpage if you're working with Linux, and it's important to know how to navigate through the page, but it's not the topic of today. Manpage is just very long. It's exhaustive, it contains a lot of information, but sometimes you just want to access some examples without having to go grind through a lot of documentation. TLDR does that. It cuts through the mess and it gives you quick examples. This is the official page of TLDR. There is a GitHub as well, but this is just their page, and from there is something cool. Actually, I didn't know about it. You don't need to install anything. You can just use your web browser, use this link. It will be at the bottom of it will be on the top of the description of this video, and you can type anything you want here. So if I do this, for instance, with FD, which we had in another video, you will find a description of FD. If I type RG for ripgrep, you will get a description of many commands you can use with ripgrep. Typically, what they are using is they will select 8 commands, the most commonly used commands, let's say. Some commands example, they will have 8 of them and they are very useful, and this is usually what you need to know. Now, you could use anything really, tar or make dir, and it's all there. And then we'll see it also in the CLI. So this is the official page, as I said. They explain it. They explain to you how to use it. They explain also that you can use pipex to install it, but honestly, you can use anything now. In my installation, I'm even using it, I think, in the cargo. This one has been installed with cargo, but you can just install, like if you do your regular apt install TLDR, it will probably work if you're under Ubuntu or like me in Mint, or if you're on any kind of other distribution, it will be DNF or whatever, Pacman, I don't know what. So you just install it and then you can use it. The first thing you will want to do when you install it is to do TLDR update, because it downloads the database. Database which is coming mostly from the repository, which, oh wow, it's taking some time. Somehow it doesn't connect good, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So what you will see is, where was it? You go into TLDR here, the link will be in the description, and if ever you think there is some command line tool that's not in TLDR and you would like to add a page for it with your own examples, then you can also add it here. Typically, everything will be in the pages here. So first, okay, if you want to add something, you should create a new fork, right? And I have my fork here, but you can create a new one, create a new fork. And then you go under pages, and then you choose your platform. Could be another platform. Well, we are under Linux, so I go under Linux. And then you could just add a file. You could just add, you click here on add file, create new file, or you upload it from your local computer. And then you can add a file. Typically it should be done in markdown format, like this is this .md, right? And then you will usually want to write it down, and then when you save it, you can create a merge request, and that merge request will appear in the shape of something like this. Wait a second. That's when I wanted to create, for instance, here the Stratis page, because this is something I was learning when I was learning the for the RHCSA exam. I have my series also in another playlist, but the idea is that I wanted to have something quick to remind myself of the different commands of Stratis, which is some local pool storage manager thingy. So I just created the page, and then once you do it, then you will have an issue that will appear in the pull requests, and the maintainers will come and they will review it, they will check it out. And they will tell you, well, it looks good, or yeah, I suggest you do this and that, like people, they wait a little bit that they check it out and then they will add it. So it's not very complicated, it takes some time. In my case, it took, I think, a couple of days. July 26th, and at the end, I think it was pushed into main on July 30th or something like that, yeah. So it takes some time, but you know, it will appear there. And then you will have your own TLDR page. So basically that's the most important stuff about this. It's like you can use it like this, and then you will use, like, again, like I was saying, it's the same then for the web page that we saw before. You do TLDR tar, or you do TLDR whatever, you know, Zoxide we've been using. You can do, if you're not sure about the exact name of the tool, like it can be sometimes that you know the name of the tool, but you don't know how it's used or whatever. So then you can use also our fuzzy filter, our good friend FZF, which we saw in another video if you follow my series. So if you do TLDR list, you will get the whole list, right? But it's so much, it's not very convenient. So if you pipe that into FZF, then FZF, the fuzzy filter, will allow you to search through them. So with a certain fuzziness. So even if you make mistakes, it will probably find it. Typically, let's say, I don't know, if I want to find, so we had Zoxide, which one didn't I do? If we do FD, then it will find FD. So it will just allow you to find it in an easier way, right? Or if you have something with zip, but you don't know exactly, zip grep, for instance, of zip info, zip2, or you want gzip, you know, like you forgot the exact name. This can happen, or gunzip, you know, you forgot the exact name. It happens to me all the time that I forget the name of a tool, but like this, you will find it in the list. So I don't know, for instance, I don't know what zip-align does, so let's have a look. Zip-align, zip archive alignment tool. Yeah, you see, interesting. Align the data of a zip file on 4-byte boundaries. What does, I don't know what that does, but this is cool, right? Like you can find some tool in the list just using the fuzziness, and it will help you to just figure out what it does. So that can just be very useful. And I think that's it for this video. Like, I just wanted to show you the different usage of TLDR, which is a very cool tool. It's quicker than manpage. You get those 8 examples, which are highlighted. It's made in Markdown format, and yeah, it's just super convenient when you're typing in the CLI and you forgot how to use, let's say, AWK. Typically, I forget all the time the syntax of AWK or sed, you know, this kind of things. Like, you know, one very common use of AWK is to print the second column. And in that case, you have it here. Here it is. Like, instead, if you do the man page, it will be much longer, like man AWK. Like, you know, you need to grind here and you're like, oh man, where are the examples? You know, I just want an example. Where do I use that? Maybe sometimes there is no example, but I mean, AWK there should be. But you see, I'm already bothered. Like, this takes too long. You really need to go at the bottom usually. And there you have it, but it's not even clear. It's not even clear. Whereas here, there you have it. Simple, plain to see, you know. You just type that and it replies the stuff and it works. So the same goes with sed. Like if I do TLDR sed, you know, there you have it, the whole thing. It tells you what it is and it tells you how to use it. Simple commands. And if you need more, of course, there will be the man page. But I think this tool came out of the real need of everybody to get quicker, to find the examples much in a more efficient way, productive manner. So TLDR is something I really recommend to anyone using Linux. And especially if you're learning at the beginning. Like, this is an excellent tool when you start learning because, again, you will be lost in the documentation. Whereas you start learning about something, what do? You do a TLDR of that specific tool, TLDR ls. And you see, all the most important ones are there. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you in this video. Let me know in the comments if I forgot something important about TLDR. I think that's good enough. And yeah, try to contribute to the project if you can. If you know some specific niche CLI tools that people could maybe using, then just add a page and make the project grow. This is the nice thing about it. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video, which will be about Area C, I think. Area 2C. Yeah, Area 2. It's called. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.